Breaking news. Citizens are very anxious about an Eilmeldung. Die Bürger sind sehr besorgt über das
Je vous transmets un avis d'urgence. Il y a une structure étrange.
速報です。都心に突然現れる。
现在为你播送快讯。
前所未有的情绪。
Hello everyone and welcome to the RTA Season 16 Legend Tournament. My name is Evan.
And I'm Seppi.
Can you believe we used to let the rankings decide who came out on top at the end of a ranked season? Now we take the top 4 players and drop them into the Summoners War Coliseum to make them fight.
Until only one remains, and they will be crowned the champion of RTA Season 16 Legend Tournament.
And what a season. This one is one for the history books. Not only did we have the highest number of players participating in that rank ladder, we also had the biggest number of new monsters released at the start of it.
The collaboration with Street Fighter V brought in 21 new monsters into World Arena, and some of them even took the meta by storm, like the Water Ryu or more. Maybe you have one of them at home with a speed lead, AoE strip, and AoE attack bar reduction. Together with Okeanos and Chungpung, it rapidly became one of the most feared trios in RTA.
And Okeanos proving that you don't actually have to appear in a balance patch necessarily to get buffed. Just the existence of artifacts in general made him one of the most viable CC units in the game, and he's now able to contribute some damage too.
And not only that, these monsters just brought in a new facet to the game with the Oracles hitting very hard. But finally, let's take a look at how this tournament will go on, Evan.
If this is your first Legend Tournament, then you should know that we take those top 4 players, we put them into a tournament against each other to see who comes out on top. Now each game is going to be played in the SWC mode, so that means there is a pre-ban phase before the normal pick ban.
The monsters will be fighting, and it's going to be a best of 3 in the semifinals and best of 5 in the finals, and whoever is the winner will take not only home these prizes that you see on screen, the Winter Snow Girl Polar Queen Transmog, also the glowing magic power, beautiful aura, and finally, Evan, the Battle Rhino.
Frelia. Because why not?
She needs a ride.
She deserves something at the end of this too. She got you here, right?
The winner will also be recognized by a unique statue that will stay in his island, and his nickname will also be recognized in chat.
That's right. Now we're nearing the end of the RTA season as we speak. The players are being decided, and soon we're going to introduce them to you. I think at least one of them is probably a shoo-in for this, which was Roid, who was sitting at the top for a while.
Once again, last season he had such a strong showing, and showing that he can remain even with a meta that is changing. He once again was so strong and ahead of everyone, almost 100 points the whole season, using different comps, bringing in Zerath Cleaves even, using his Tian Lang, Water Ryu, lots of monsters, and now he started streaming, so everyone gets to see his thought process.
That's right. Here he is right there. That's Roid, and you can see the most picked monsters that he had throughout the season and his most banned. Funny that they line up pretty evenly actually there. The most picked monsters were Water Ryu, which we talked about earlier, Savannah, and there's that Sarath that you talked about too.
A very interesting monster is not used by a lot of people, only in arena defense, but he made it work, maybe because of his extremely high rune quality and his capacity to counterpick. One of the strongest players in picking and banning that reached the finals on the last tournament, but unfortunately lost to the champion, the current legend that is not here today to defend the title, Shizzy.
That's how you do it. You earn the title and then you just don't show up. You raise the bar and then you leave it alone. Here's Hard Brick, who the community will affectionately know as Dog Guy. Most picked monsters here. Lots of Gianna, Nefties, Ragdoll, etc. Now, Hard Brick is the only person here today who actually has a legend title to defend.
Yeah, so 3 of them, and he puts them on the line. The other 3 players have been here before but haven't taken it. We have him coming in with a composition that is very wide. He has a big box. He can play bruiser. He can play control. Lots of damage as well, so you never know where he's gonna go. We know that these other players on the other side, for example, Roid has more of a control comp, so maybe he has the opportunity to respond with some bruisers. Now finally, second baby that also has another Nefties, and we see here some monsters, but I'm missing the Water Ryu. We've seen him use a lot of Water Ryu, Nefties, Chungpung, Okeanos. Let's see if by any chance we're going to see any of the other LDs, but he's been playing for speed this season.
We'll see what the son of 4 baby does today in the tournament. There's a lot of strong representation here in the most picked and most banned monsters. They all deserve to be here. Now that Nefties is a force to be reckoned with, so I'm excited to see that in a game.
Yeah, these 2 players have Nefties. The interesting thing will be who will take it, and are they going to pre-ban it to not allow that the other one gets the first pick Nefties, or they'll just go with more of a, let's say, versatile first pick, like Okeanos that has been the strongest first pick in the meta. We have seen a lot of Ciara as well being picked first, and the Water Ryu once again. And the last of them is True Whale. He's made his way to the tournament once again after missing out the last time, and bringing in maybe a different comp, because he was very used to using that Double Dragon Knight, the white one and the dark one, and now with the buff of Pontos and Okeanos being in the meta, he changed his comp a little bit to play more speed base and less bruiser, with the fall, unfortunately, of Tyrannus.
Look at that. That's one of those monsters that you wouldn't expect to appear in a most picked phase prior to this season, which is Pontos. His appearance in that balance patch meant the world to him. We're probably going to be seeing Water Ryu a lot. We spoke about it a little before the tournament started, but this is going to be one of those seasons where we're most likely to see a lot of neutral element Nat 5 monsters pre-banned instead, like Water Ryus, Chungpungs, Okeanos. Obviously, Oki is one of the strongest this season.
Yeah, because of the artifacts, as we talked about, he's going to be one of the priorities for these plays. But remember, all of them also have lots of counters to this control meta, like Juno, for example, even Leo to counter the Savannah that we've seen so much here. And now we can take a look at the bracket. Number 1 against number 4, Roid versus True Whale. And on the other side,
Hard Brick versus Second Baby. Now remember, semifinals are best of 3. Once we get into the finals, those are going to be best of 5. That's where you can really afford to lose the first one to feel out your opponent, but before that, every bit matters.
Exactly. One of these matches can determine the luck of this player moving on or not moving forward at all. And Roid against True Whale, it's an interesting matchup like we talked about. It's a clash of styles. True Whale has adapted and climbed late in the season a lot of points. He was number 6, number 7 for most of the season, and then he got number 4, surpassed many other players like Diligent, for example, and got to the tournament. So he's thirsty for the victory.
True Whale has been to more legend tournaments than I can count now. He seems to be appearing in almost every single one. I can't wait to see how far he gets this time. Every single one feels like a training arc for him. He always takes something away and he adapts and comes back stronger.
Very consistent players. It's really cool to see that we have lots of them, like Roid staying season after season, even with the change of the meta. True Whale as well, and Hard Brick has been here since 10 seasons ago, basically. Now, Second Baby versus Hard Brick is another interesting fight because they share a lot of same monsters. So we're going to see if that's going to be the determining factor, or maybe one of them will decide to counterpick since he knows that strategy so well and he plays it.
They're literally going to be fighting over the same monster box in that case too. And if you guys like the match that we're about to witness, remember, Roid is streaming nowadays, so you can kind of pick up some of these RTA tips by osmosis just by watching him.
Exactly. Let's see if this is going to be a match decided by the speed, if people are going to fight for that Okeanos, Water Ryu, or if there's going to be some adaptation on the side of True Whale, and he prepared something specific to fight Roid, because The disadvantage of playing on stream is that everyone gets to see how you pick, your mindset, your runes. So they get a lot of information. But on the other hand, he has a big brain. He's a great player, very smart. So I want to see in chat right now, who are you rooting for on this first match? Pink Roid representing Europe. And now representing America, we have True Whale. So kind of a clash between servers as well.
That's right. And like what you said with Pink Roid, you don't just go and make a Twitch account without knowing what's at stake here. All the other competitors can delete their replays. They can take whatever means they want. But Pink Roid is fully out in the open. If you want to go learn about your opponent, if you're True Whale, you can do that. And you can talk to him in chat too. But we're going to be finding out shortly here. Looks like we're going into the pick ban phase. Here we go. Round 1, match 1, Pink Roid versus True Whale.
And apparently the first pick goes to the side of Pink Roid. Very important to pre-ban right here, Evan, because since they know those boxes, what is Pink Roid the most afraid of? We're going to find out right now if he's going to pre-ban something like the Jaeger to not have to deal and kind of tell him that he's going to play CC. He pre-bans the Ragdoll, afraid of those AoE hits, and on the other side, True Whale pre-bans the Water Ryu. Very expected.
Right, and that's the sort of pre-ban that's going to set the tone for the night. That is very meta-appropriate, what we're seeing here. Now we get into the real pick ban phase. Of course, Okeanos getting locked down on the first pick by Pink Roid. That is so classic.
And very interesting in here, he already gets the Ponto, speed lead, and protection against the Oki with the Gani to ventilate someone that's reset, but interestingly enough, he didn't split the Chung Pung. Let's see if Pink Roid goes for it. No, but he brings another powerful wind unit with a strip. Savannah, kind of afraid of what might come. He knows that if he puts too much control on the table, he can get a Jaeger and a Juno right to the face, so he chooses to bring some sustain and some damage.
Right, laying out your strategy like that can really make it easy for True Whale to adapt, especially when he's on the lookout for it. He's already got Ponto, so he's got a ton of immunity there. Here's Chung Pung, so now he's splitting the combo there. Chung Pung's on his side.
A little bit dangerous too, because he's now on double win, not a lot of damage in this comp, and here's the Juno response like we talked about. Really good from Pink Roid. I feel that the True Whale comp so far lacks a little bit of damage, so he'll have to have a lot of control and maybe a less pick that it's very impactful to try to get that ban. Finally, Pink Roid thinking about this last pick over here. Vertihill is really good. Oh, and that's what he does.
Just as you said, Verd, probably one of the most popular picks against AoE, and Tian Lang seals up True Whale's draft. He's going to be gaining a lot of attack bar inadvertently from this comp, so let's see who they decide to ban.
The question is Pink Roid afraid of the high counter of Tian Lang, which is probably the ban on his side, or will he want to just take out the immunity, and that's what he does? I think that right now, Pink Roid has a very strong draft against True Whale's composition. Let's see if this Vertihill is on triple revenge.
It's gotta be.
Bio revenge Verd.
He's gotta be. Man, it's so dangerous staring down the barrel of a loaded Tian Lang. Here we go. Bongo out. Oh, man.
No counter!
But two big silences. Look at that. Now he can't respond with anything. Chung Pung lining up to try to strip that immunity potentially.
And remember, he has another AoE silence coming on from Pontos. Here comes. He's thinking he has to go for the strip basically, and we see a little delay. Misses the strip to Chung Pung.
That is so crucial. If he wants, he can reset the Oki here if he didn't already get reset by that first Chung Pung there.
To guarantee it, Gani is irresistible. He does it. Now he doesn't need to worry about it. He can protect his team, take out that silence from the bomber, and the problem now is once again another resistance on the other side. The friend can protect the team right now, goes for it because he knows that the Vertihill laps, and now he can put protection and not get reset by the Chung Pung.
Pink Roid looking for an opportunity to do something impactful here. He's getting turns, but he's not able to make anything stick as long as that immunity is on the table.
The interesting thing is that on both sides, many strips missed. Now the Chung Pung can't do anything. It has to wait a little bit. The Gani has to ventilate. The choice now is, do I go defensive on Pontos or offensive on the Painter?
In this case, a great defense is the perfect offense. If he can just stay by and not take damage, he can just inadvertently do a little bit of incremental damage to Pink Roid's team.
Yeah, I just feel that Pink Roid's draft was very strong, and with the Vertihill and the friend, the sustain, and finally a counter from the Verd will be really hard to lock down. I think this match is practically over, Evan.
Savannah goes out, tries to land something on there, doesn't actually get any return. Chung Pung is going to die on his upkeep, and Fran is just keeping herself healthy.
Yeah, right now it's a 3v4 with a Vertihill on the other side. He has protection, but like we said, he lacks damage. He didn't have any opportunity to really kill anyone when the Chung Pung didn't get the strip and also the follow-up. He didn't get a proc to reset. That's game over. Very strong draft. I feel like Pink Roid won this one out right in the pick and ban face.
Pink Roid taking the first point of the night in the RTA Season 16 Legend Tournament. Now, in that case, Pink Roid took a lot of heals sustain and a lot of turn advantage, which ended up getting him the win there. Pontos was really cool as a defensive option. The only thing is that he wasn't going to be able to out-sustain.
Yeah, like we said, it was very dangerous picking double wind, the Gani and the Chungpung. He missed a little bit of damage. It was easy to counter with Juno and Verd like we talked about, and props to Pink Roid for reading the draft, and maybe now True Whale can adapt and try to bring a composition that can give him more damage and more ways to deal with the sustain from Pink Roid.
Everything's on the line here. He has to win this next one. If he can't get a point on the board, that's good night for True Whale, unfortunately.
And now he has the opportunity to use Ragdoll, actually, because the pre-ban, remember, can't be the same. So maybe we'll see some Water Ryu Ragdoll action, but remember, Ragdoll is a very strong counter to Water Ryu. So will Pink Roid predict that and already think of bringing something else to deal with the composition?
One might negate the other one. Here we go, round 2 of match 1, Pink Roid versus True Whale, with Pink Roid having the advantage. He's got his eyes on the finals already. Yeah,
Now,
there's that pre-ban.
Now he's gonna change for something different. He sees that he's not that worried maybe about the Jaeger, or if he wants, because the first pick now is gonna go to True Whale, so probably he'll take the Okeanos away. He goes for the Pontos, interesting. So that says, I'm still playing control. I don't care that much about the monsters you have, and we'll probably see True Whale taking that Okeanos, and let's see how Pink Roid responds. Maybe we'll see more Beast Riders appearing. We haven't seen Barbara yet.
That's right. Pink Roid. Oh, there's that water.
the Ryu.
So fast, the Water Ryu was slammed onto the table. Pink Roid following up with Ciara and an Okeanos. Really good answers to both of those. Ciara with the detonation, being able to get through Water Ryu's passive.
Yeah, I'm very afraid of that first pick. I would have liked more of an Okeanos here to take it away from Pink Roid. We know how hard it hits, but he brings right away the Ragdoll, even though the Ragdoll is so strong against the Water Ryu. He brings the combo with the Savannah, taking it away, but now the answer, Tian Lang, the counters the Ragdoll as well. And
now, True Whale was in a position where he wanted to ban that Oki. You could almost see it in those picks. He wanted to ban that Okeanos, but then Pink Roid just follows up with that Tian Lang, puts him in a really difficult position.
But now he has double speed lead, double starter. The thing is, if he bans the Savannah, if True Whale doesn't have the Savannah, does he have enough follow-up to take care of Pink Roid? I don't think so. And that last pick tells me he bans the Savannah. Great ban from Pink Roid. This might be another shoe-in for him. If he resists any of those silences or resets, Evan, it's game.
True Whale is going to have to make something happen right now. These opening turns are so important for him. Let's see who gets the first turn. Oh, Water Ryu actually did a great strip and attack bar reduction, but Tian Lang is just benefiting over here.
But Tian Lang doesn't get the stun on the bomber, and now everyone is silenced and reset. He has to pass it back. Misses the pass back, but Ciara can cycle out of it. Remember, the only problem is that with Tian Lang on your team, your Ciara gains half of that attack bar. Let's see the punishment. Can he kill? What are you doing?
True Whale already making Pink Roid play at a 3 to 4 monster deficit so early. Excellent job, True Whale.
He got out the sustain early, and now it's everyone against Ciara. Ciara has the opportunity to solo this, but she will need a couple procs because the Okeanos is gonna die as well, and it's a 3v2. She needs 1 bomb, 2 bombs, and needs to resist, to not die to this P-Cent. She has the first bomb. She goes for Ragdoll. Very well thought out. He has to risk it here and kill this Ragdoll to get rid of him. Yes! Gets it down.
Pink Roid firmly saying, I'm not out of this just yet. I want that point as much as you do.
I still think that Ciara has a big solo chance right here. That reset comes in, but now she's too low for this P-Sem. P-Sem's gonna kill her, and this is bye-bye. What a great first turn for True Whale, killing the Fran outright and taking the match. That sustain would have changed everything, Evan.
He established such early dominance in that game, and he absolutely had to. True Whale did such a great job adapting to that, and there it is. That's the power of Water Ryu.
We talked about, it was all about the resist and the silence. And the thing was, Tian Lang did not do his job. He didn't stun the bomber. And once the Cabal bomber came in and silenced everyone, the sustain from Fran gave a huge opening. So very well thought out. And what we talked about the last match, adaptation. He needed damage, and the damage was Ragdoll. With that beautiful proc, he killed the Fran.
That was excellent. Man, silence, such a great option for True Whale. Basically saying, I get to decide what your monsters do when you get to play with them. You're not really playing your turns. I am. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a round 3 on our hands before we move on to the next phase. Let's go ahead and see Pink Roid versus True Whale. This is going to determine who moves on to the finals.
Deciding match, Evan. First pick for Pink Roid once again. Maybe you will see the similar pre-bans to the first one, or knowing that he can take that water Ryu, maybe True Whale tries to change the pre-ban a little bit here and lets Pink Roid take it and steal the Okeanos. Nope, same thing.
We're back to round 1 with our pre-bans right now.
I think Pink Roid is really happy about it. Maybe True Whale will try to change that 3rd to 4th pick with the Chung Pung double win to not make it that easy for Pink Roid. And Okeanos should be seen on this side once again.
There he is. Okeanos locked down right away. True Whale not one to want to get double reset, and he's got better uses for the Ganymede. Anyway, he takes it.
And the Pontos, once again, I like those first 2 picks as response. The problem last time was the 3rd and 4th. Let's see if Pink Roid continues with the same team or makes True Whale kind of have to adapt even harder. He can take as well the Chung Pung, but last time he didn't. So maybe he'll stay with the same one since he won the first match.
That's where I would struggle in this situation. Do you want to add more pressure by mixing up your draft, or do you want to play with what you know? It is the Legend Tournament. This is the end of the season. This is the one that matters above everything else. Here comes Fran and Savannah. So it looks like Pink Roid is opting for what is good and what works.
Same 2 picks. We're seeing how strong Fran has been in this matchup with the sustain, the protection. There's no strip on that side yet, and he brings the Chung Pung again. He's thinking about it. So he picked Chung Pung and Bomber. He changes. I like this better. Vert Leo would be a very interesting response to this Savannah Oki because the stuns last time. He doesn't get the attack bar reduction, brings the Arda, who doesn't get that broke, and Praha. What a surprise. I don't know about that because he can bring in a Diana last pick here, but then the Arda is a big counter to it, so it's a little bit risky. And see, he's bringing the Tianlang. Diana is not a good fit.
You're picking the counter to the counter with it to try to outthink Pink Roid. He's settled on the Tianlang for the most part, and that's a great one because we've already got a couple monsters here that gain attack bar, so he's going to be gaining by proxy, though you're also hindering your Okeanos just a little bit, but...
Oh my god, Poppy! Big Daddy!
Goldo.
Finally he's here. I was telling you earlier today, he brings the bearing once again. The Bomber, this time I feel that if the ban is on Arda right here, he might be missing a little bit of damage once again. Let's see if that's what he thinks of doing, or if something changes, because the Okeanos is going to be very decisive here. He has a speed lead. Maybe he wants to outspeed and ban that. It's going to be a very interesting pick and ban. I see a couple options for both of them.
Yeah, and both players have reason to be afraid of the other's immunity. Everybody wants to land something. True Whale wants silence. Looks like they go ahead and lock that out. True Whale doesn't want to get one shot by the Reckless, and Pink Roid doesn't want to get silenced as often anymore. He's got half the opportunity to get silenced now.
This is a big opportunity for Pink Roid right now because we're going to see how impactful this Tianlang can really be. There's going to be immunity on the other side, but he has to shine. Goes for the reset. Okeanos hits
And
it.
he lands it. That's huge. This is it. The final round of the first match gets a stun on top of it for Pontos, and Praha got stunned in the mix.
Huge double stun, but remember, Praha has the strip for the friend, but now there's going to be a gigantic opening. Friend's going to buff, and then he gets the death break on 2 monsters. The punish is going to come with the Rain of Stones from Okeanos. Additional damage on those artifacts. We know how hard it hits. Evan, I think this might be it.
This
Let's
could
see.
be...
Oh, he was reset by the Ganny. You're right.
He got reset. That would have been huge.
But,
now he's
but the
open to get
Savannah
stripped.
gets the hit.
Now,
can
he
one
kill?
shot? Yes! He can one-shot it. The Okeanos, even without the Rain of Stones, hits super hard. The game is going to be punished once again, and he has no way of getting rid of the death break unless he procs. He procs out of it.
Oh, Ganny is safe temporarily, but here comes Tianlang trying to land something, and he's just not landing those debuffs tonight.
Yes, and now this Ganny had a very important proc because that means that he gets the seal magic a little bit earlier, but how do you deal with this amount of damage? You need to protect yourself with the Pontos and hope that you get some extra turns with the Ganymede to keep resetting and controlling the opposing team.
I'm getting a weird amount of deja vu here. We've seen this before from True Whale's side where he tries to armor up on his turn and just try to wait out the damage. Pink Roid has got a loaded cannon in Savannah.
He got the proc he needed, Evan. He can reset one more time. The question is, do I go for Okeanos or do I go for the protection right now? What is he going to do? He goes for the protection. He goes for friend, doesn't want any sustain, but can he withstand the amount of damage that's coming out from the other side?
Pontos here with the potential silence. Let's see how many he lands. Can he get the full team? Gets the full team silence.
Beautiful. But the Okeanos has a chance to pass it back, and he does so. The question right now is, He can protect the team. Dioki will have the cooldowns back, but the Pontos is very good here. This guy is getting punished. He's almost dead, and the heal from Arda is still on cooldown. Can this Ganny survive long enough to deal damage? Because the Arda is not hitting that hard yet.
True Whale doing a valiant effort right now, but he's hanging on by a thread. Ganymede doing his best impression of a wall, trying to absorb damage and ventilate his team while he can. He's trying to be the healer that his team needs.
He needs lots of stuns from this Artemiel. The Fran doesn't crit. Here it comes. Can he get rid of this heal? Oof! Almost.
He just needs half of that again to kill the Fran. He's poking away. He's using every turn he can.
Missed it.
Oh, okay.
A proc from Ganny can be gigantic. He kills it, doesn't proc. So it's gonna be a trade. No, she doesn't kill the Ganny, Evan. Was that a miss crit?
I think she did. Now he's healed back up to 50%. He's still on the table. Ganny has been doing such a great job of just soaking up damage this whole game, taking Pink Roid's attention away from other places.
The Okeanos, even with immunity, uses the Rain of Stone for the damage. Great choice from Pink Roid. Now the Panda has to shine. Doesn't strip or stun. The Ganny can reduce attack bars and have a huge opportunity. Does he go for the heal? Does he go for the reduction? He has to reduce. Doesn't no proc on this side, and the Arda doesn't die.
That was so important. Look at True Whale's HP bars. He's hanging on by a literal thread right now, just trying to get as many pokes as he can.
Without the proc from the Pontos, he didn't have any protection. Ganny proc, but it seems like it's a little too late for this composition to get rid of the whole team, because this Tian Lang gets in the death rate. The Okeanos shiny once again and takes the victory for Pink Roid.
Pink Roid with a 2-1 in the first match. Pink Roid has locked in his place in the finals, and Pink Roid's done a great job of just staying at the top this entire season. Now, True Whale, always great at adapting. Those were excellent games, both players. Thank you so much for those. Pink did a fantastic job with that.
What an amazing pick and ban on this last match. Both of them went really well. I feel that the difference maker was that Okeanos, that even reset for most of the game once you got the opening. Doesn't matter if you have immunity. I'm going to punish you. I'm going to hit you so hard with the Rain of Stones.
Look at the options, right? Rain of Stones is a stun. You can get reset, or you just get punched for a lot of damage because artifacts exist now. Okeanos was definitely a shot caller in that game. Pink Roid handling the other team super well. What did you think of True Whale's Pontos Ganny combo there with resetting the invincibility and the immunity?
It was really good, but once again, I felt that in this draft, like we talked about, he missed a little bit of damage. Last time he won because he brought in the Ragdoll, and the Ragdoll did enough damage to get rid of the sustain early. But this time, the Artemiel only hit stuns later on in the match, and the damage from Arda early on without a death break is not that
It's kind of negligible, right?
Exactly.
But it was a valiant attempt. I really liked what I saw there. He was trying to avoid as much damage as he could, but Savannah was still hitting and not even critting, so she wasn't getting punished for it most of the time, too.
I'm surprised he didn't bring the Jaeger, though. The Jaeger against this comp would have been very interesting. There's two monsters to stun. We know that the Tian Lang, the Oki were there. Maybe against the Savannah is not that good of a unit, but he could have tried to kill the Fran earlier.
That would have been so cool to see, and there's still time for that. I think there are other Jaegers in the tournament tonight, too. That was just Pink Roid versus True Whale. We still have Second Baby versus Hard Brick coming up shortly here, too. There's a lot more tournament left.
Very interesting picks. I'm very happy that we saw Bearing, and we're gonna have a 3-minute break right now before the second semifinals.
Stay tuned with us, guys. We got the second half of the tournament coming up right after this.
Breaking news. Citizens are very anxious about it. Die Meldung. Die Bürger sind sehr besorgt über das
Je vous transmets un avis d'urgence. Il y a une structure étrange.
速報です。都心に突然現れる。
现在为你夺走排序。
前所未有的情绪。
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause I'm with you all the way. Get into this world with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Hey, I've been looking for that. Yes, I've been searching for. Yes, sing with me
Breaking news. Citizens are very anxious about Einmeldung. Die Bürger sind sehr besorgt über das
Je vous transmets un avis d'urgence. Il y a une structure étrange.
速報です。都心に突然現れる。
现在为你播送快讯，前所未有的情绪和风景。
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause I'm with you all the way. Get into this world with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Hey, I've been looking for ya. Yes, I've been searching for ya. Sing with me now, say, oh, 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 oh. Trust in me when I tell ya. Hey, I've been looking for ya. Yes, I've been searching, yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the RTA Season 16 Legend Tournament. I'm still Evan.
And I'm still Seppi.
And we just saw Roid take match 1 in the semifinals. And we still have another half of those semifinals before we get into the best of 5s a little later. We've still got Second Baby as well as Hard Brick to look forward to coming up soon. But before that, we want to take a look at what's going on, what we saw in that first matchup.
We saw a very close matchup, Evan. It was a really interesting fight of pick and ban. I feel like most of the matches were decided in that. Even though the procs error for both sides, we did see that strategy was what decided it, which is really cool.
Yeah, you called it in the pick ban phase. What True Whale brought to the table was really cool and very unique. I love the emphasis on silence, though admittedly it did end up missing out on a little bit of damage like you called. Let's go ahead and take a look at that highlight reel to see what's going on from those matches.
First match was a great class on pick and ban from Roid, picking the Juno and Vert in response. He had to ban one of the two. We can see that this miss strip was huge, but on the other side, the Savannah had missed it as well, but the follow-up damage wasn't there. Once he got rid of the death break on the other side, True Will knew it was over. He was like, I banked everything on my Art Master stripping your team. And then on game number 2, he adapted. He had the ragdoll. We see the power of the silence right here and the ragdoll with a huge proc to finish the Fran, changing the match, and no sustain means PSM is gonna kill you.
That was a huge confirm on the Fran, and so early too, so the whole time Roid was just trying to climb back up, and he put up a really good fight too, but ultimately the Ciara just couldn't take the pressure in that moment.
Too much damage, that's the thing. The interesting thing about the Water Ryu is that he deals damage on every type of monster. He has an attack break on skill 1 that's really strong even against Ciara. And finally, the PSM didn't even need to pop his passive. Roid knew that the game was over.
Yeah, there was a moment towards the end there with Ciara where it's looking at PSM and you can see he's like, oh wait, that passive is still up. That's the end of that. Here's game number 3 where we saw Roid sort of return to form of what he had going on in round 1. And True Whale tried to adapt with a really cool pick from Artemio.
Yeah, interesting thing, he got to reset the Okeanos that didn't do a lot of good job early on because he didn't have any skills, but later on he got it back and we can see how hard that Rain of Stones hits. He tries to control, keep having it, but the only heal came in from Arda, right? And that was the only source of damage as well. So lacking a little bit of damage and sustain. You know what I would love to see there, like we talked about, the Jaeger or maybe even a Leo to take out some of the damage and the attack bar reduction from this event.
Especially considering we'd seen one of his brothers do such great work in round 2, right, when Ragdoll was in play. Jaeger would have been awesome, considering how much stun there was that you're staring down in that
The only problem with the Leo is that there's a Tianlang on the other side, and he's gaining a lot of attack bar. Against the Leo, that would be kind of
That's a really good point. Yeah, Tianlang would just be accelerating through the turn order the whole time, so maybe not Leo, or maybe we reconsider the ban if the Leo's on the table there.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that round could have gone, but at the end of it, Pink Roid has secured his spot in the finals, and we still have Second Baby and Half Brick, or Hard Brick rather, to look forward to. And again, Hard Brick is Dog Guy from seasons past, and the holder of a Legend title.
And the interesting thing is, Pink Roid's in the final once again. 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
He finished first place, went to the finals. Last time lost to Shizzy in a very close match. Very aggressive picks from Shizzy, banking on a lot of risky plays. I think that both of them drafted and played really well. It was a really close tournament. So maybe Pink Roid's saying, that time you got me, but now I'm back and I want that title.
I'm prepared for it. Yeah, Shizzy was acting as a very good foil to what Pink Roid brought to the table here. And I think what you said earlier is just so valid. It was really a clash of styles that were being played there. Can't emphasize enough how cool it was to see all the silence as a valid form of control. I thought that was really cool.
And now we're gonna see the semifinals number 2, the second place against third place. On one side, Hard Brick, on the other one, Second Baby. Who will take the Nefties? What will they pre-ban? Is it gonna be an LD or is it gonna be Ryu or Okeanos? Let's see the pre-bans on each side.
There's a lot of very strong weapons in the monster box for both of these players. Nefties is on the table, and remember, she's got the speed leech, she's got the irresistible debuffs. She's a force to be reckoned with, and you got to figure out how to draft against her. Do you want to try to outspeed? Do you want to pre-ban her altogether?
That's what they do. They just pre-ban her, and I don't want to deal with that. So probably we're going to see a split between Okeanos and Ryu right here, and let's see if the other person takes Chungpung. That's the question. We thought the Chungpung would be picked earlier, but it's not. Oh, so he doesn't have a water Ryu. He has a Moor.
He has a Moor. Fascinating. So different. So here comes a Ciara and a Gianna from Second Baby as a response.
That leaves the Okeanos open right there. It's kind of interesting that Second Baby is going so aggressively for these 2 monsters already. Chungpung,
and look at that.
The trio. I'm very afraid right now for Second Baby. He needs to respond with something that counters this, or going full outspeed. He goes for the counter. Vertihill Trip Revenge, and on the other side, another Pontos.
There's another Pontos in this tournament. Second Baby choosing to go for the route that includes a lot of punishment for CC control, though right now we only see Verd on the table. I saw him dabble in a Jingjae for a second, but ended up debating it and taking it back.
If he doesn't pick a strong water unit right now, maybe a Barbara would be very interesting. We will see a last pick Juno probably from the side of Second Baby, or another monster that it's really good against CC. The Yanghong comes in. Wait. Oh, Gani. Leona!
Whoa! Doing the triple mix-up, the no mix-up mix-up.
There's double bombs on that side. I would have loved to see something a little bit different, but we see right now he's forced to bring some damage last instead of bringing the Juno, or he can still bring Rika, no immunity. Very interesting, but double reset. How dangerous is that? This is probably 100% res Rika.
It has to be. That's a big punish from Second Baby if it goes through. Now, the only thing is that I think Second Baby's got a statement here saying, I am going to start.
Yeah, and it's obvious that he was going to ban that Gianna. He couldn't deal with the Gianna because if she interrupts or starts him, the game's over. It's the only stripper. So even if Vertihill counters, if he's on will, the Rika can't do anything. So very good ban on the side of Hard Brick and Second Baby. Let's see who takes the first turn. And it is that water Ryu, as expected.
Hard Brick going to open with the AoE and no counter from Verd.
He needs to reset that Pontos though. He can't use the Rain of Stones.
Oh, resisted! He has a second chance here. He's got to go for it now and risk the counter from Verd and no punish.
No counters from Vertihill 2 times in a row. Now the Leona can control this team. Oh my god, Second Baby must be so mad right now at his triple revenge Verd. Well, if it's a
Verd is there for one reason in this situation, and it's to counter Chungpung and Okeanos, and it's just not happening.
Here comes Rain of Stones to destroy the team. Look at that damage. The Rika still standing. Can she do it? No procs. The Rika can try to stun. Is she on Despair or Vio? No stuns on her side, probably on Vio, but it's too much damage to be withstanded. She's gonna die, and the Ciara as well, because he has 2 monsters playing ahead of him. The Ciara is going bye-bye, and this match is over. Brought to you by Okeanos.
Now I understand. Brick was just not afraid of the Rika. It got the full counterattack, the full punish, and it was just not enough.
If you leave that sweet trio together, something's gonna happen. We told you he has to split the Oki, Chungpung, Ryu. If you let those three elements, and with that great pick at the end of the Tian Lang, it's very difficult to deal with.
It's so dangerous. That's the trio that we've been either splitting or banning the entire season, and now you see why. I'm actually glad to a degree that we got to see it in the Legend Tournament just to see why it's so fearsome. Let's see what's going to change in the second round between Brick and Second Baby.
Let's see if he changes a little bit of the strategy. Now the Nefties and the Ragdoll can be pre-banned, but you know what they can do? They can switch it around and pre-ban it in opposite ways, right? So we're gonna see if that's what happens right now, probably because the first pick now on the other side might be an Okeanos, or even the Water Ryu that has been more picked than Oki here, surprisingly.
Now, I do affectionately refer to the SWC mode as the Face Your Fears mode. These monsters are now up for grabs, so we might see a Nefties go into this game. And at the very least, she's going to try to soak up a ban.
I would love to see Nefties right here. We know that Second Baby has been playing with the same comp that he lost to on the past match. So maybe he steals those monsters away from Hard Brick and see what happens. The question is Hard Brick going to play against it? Or, oh my God, he did not. He banned the Tian Lang. He says, I'm going to play with my Ragdoll this time, so I don't want any attack bar cuts.
And now, with the Ragdoll pre-ban too, we're going to have to see if he still thinks that that's a good payoff. But again, that counters more than just passive attack bar gain. That counters Oracles. That counters Okeanos.
The Vertihill, Diana, everything. That's the thing. I think that maybe he thought he was going to pre-ban the Nefties and he was going to get the Ragdoll, right? But now he's like, okay, you let me have Nefties, I'll have her, but now the Gianna's on the other side.
Isn't it funny seeing what they favor? They're prioritizing the Nefties over the Water Ryu in this case, or more as it were.
We talked about how this was going to be a match of the same monsters. The other one was a Clash of Styles. This is the same style. Two players that have a lot of a similar box. And now I really like the side of Second Baby. He'll probably need another AoE stripper coming later on. Maybe we'll see a Ken over here.
That would be
or
amazing.
A Chiwu if there's no Vertihill right now. Maybe Heartbreak is thinking about predicting what he's going to do, but he brings double speed lead, very fast, double starter, and the damage of the Savannah.
I like where Second Baby's head is at. They learned from round one, decided to split the combo and take the cool side of the combo in Chungpung Oki, following up with a PSAM and a Triton to round out the draft.
Yeah, I love the Triton pick. The PSAM, there's no reset and no sustain on the other side. So he deals lots of damage. So he didn't need to pick the Chiwu that had already a speed lead. He went for the 33%. The question right now is he going to ban the main starter or the 33% speed lead to try to see who's faster?
No matter what, once we get into the game proper, that Juno is going to be kind of interesting in the game too, because he's got two forms of attack bar reduction, but no real way to nuke her down, so he can't get rid of her right away. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, Nefties adds heal block.
Exactly. So. And if the team is speed tuned, and before the Juno takes a turn, he gets Death Break with the Nefties into Okeanos Rain of Stones, that Okeanos can kill the Juno.
Let's see how much damage can be brought out here. Here we go, round two. Triton opening
she
strong.
Counters!
Whoa! And a big stun coming out too.
She gets an opportunity. Can she stun these two controlling monsters? Because we know that Chungpung, Nefties, and Okeanos move very close together, and he has no cut. Here it comes. Stuns the Oki. He needs a huge proc from the Okeanos because hopefully he is on violence.
Here comes the cooldown reset and the decreased attack bar. Juno does in fact get a turn. Second Baby didn't have enough to capitalize on that defense break on Juno.
Well, there's an opening. No stun on Oki. Oki probably moves. Does Oki move before? No! The Ryu moves before him. He has a little bit of an opening. No. Is he dead? Is he dead?
Yes!
The Oki has the opening, Evan. He can drop two monsters. He can drop two monsters.
How much damage is this going to deal? Oh, doesn't even drop her off the chair, unfortunately. Instead, Okeanos is the one to go in the grave.
And now this looks like the game's over because he needed the Oki to get rid of that Juno. Now the Juno can solo this whole team. There's two wind monsters and one monster that apply Diva. What a great Juno pick like you talked about.
Juno is a force to be reckoned with in this meta, staring down Nefties of all things.
And I'm going to say one thing. I want this win to go not for her, but for Revenge Rune. Because that revenge on turn one, going into the stuns, even though the Water Ryu was going to cut anyways, she was very, very clutch. And now misses the bomb. This is a little bit of an opportunity, but I don't think still that there's enough damage to take care of the Juno.
We're going to have to see. Juno is firmly standing in this game. She's the only one carrying Brick at the moment here. If they can just kill a unit together, then it's almost guaranteed that Juno's going to walk away from this one.
Yeah, it's very difficult to turn this around. The Juno's hitting very hard, and she's just going to gain attack bar now. Is going to kill the Nefties and finish off this match with the win.
Wow, a 2-0 from Brick, the first 2-0 of the night, taking him into the finals. He's here to defend that title.
Very, very strong showing from Brick. The pick and ban, he showed that he can play with the team and he can play against it. He knows that Ryu is the key unit to play with Okeanos and also the Changpang.
Just an incredible draft to round out that whole thing from Brick. Obviously love the Juno pick. I can't believe it made it through the pick ban phase, but what are you going to do? You're putting your opponent between a water Ryu and a hard place. It's like, what do you ban? There's so many good options in there.
15% chance at revenge.
That's right.
all it takes.
Yeah, that's all it takes. And that stun early on was just so important.
Because cutting the Okeanos, if he got the Juno with the Death Break on and the opportunity for Okeanos to hit with the Rain of Stones, that would have been a different match. Into the attack bar reduction from the Changpang, that game's over.
That's why you rune on Despair Revenge.
Exactly.
Right?
Not Nemesis. Some people still like it, but Revenge.
And I see why, but boy, does Revenge pair well with Despair. Incredible showing from both of these players, and now we have a really cool final setup. We've got Pink Roid versus Hard Brick.
So once again, Pink Roid's in the finals, and Hard Brick is not new to it since he's been legend more than once.
Yeah, this is not something, both of these players are used to the tournament setting, and they're used to having a huge title like Legend on the line in this one. And remember, we're not in the best of 3 territory anymore, we're now in the best of 5. So these guys are going to be able to kind of get accustomed to each other's play style, and really give it their all.
And the interesting thing is I feel like Hard Bricks has such a big box that we're going to probably see some different picks from Pink Roid. We saw him bringing the Tetra that was banned, and we might see that monster come back since there's a Gianna on the table. And right now, we have our first coupon of the night for you guys at home. Thank you so much for staying with us this late.
Yeah, we know it's really late wherever you are. I mean, even for us too, right? So here's the coupon code just for hanging out with us. It says, stay safe LT, which is Legend Tournament Season 16 for that one. Looks like there's a mystical scroll and some energy. We'll have to redeem that one later.
Oh my God, please don't expire until we finish this.
That could be your Hawthor that you might have to feed.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully a Beast Rider. Guys, what do you want to get? Tell us in chat.
Oh yeah, that's a great opportunity.
I'm curious. I mean, not curious. Not curious.
Oh, okay. No, the curioso.
And going into these finals, Evan, what do you expect? Do you expect a lot of adaptation from Pink Roid? Seeing these very strong LD units?
Well, if you think about it, this is sort of the situation that Pink Roid thrives in. He's been at the top of the RTA ranked ladder this whole time, so he's used to playing against these guys. In the Legend Tournament, it is different because there's stakes and it's live and you know that you're being watched, but he's facing these guys on the ranked ladder almost daily.
I think he's very well prepared, and the thing is, we've seen Tianlang be super impactful here, and everyone had a Tianlang on the top 4. And that's one of the monsters with the biggest win rate in the season because lots of the monsters in the meta gain attack bar. Okeanos, Ciara, Vertihil, etc.
All of the oracles, even you boil it down, like the Shihos of the world, you know, it's like all this stuff gaining attack bar, and Tianlang just passively benefits from it. And let's not even think about Ragdoll too, Ragdoll.
Yeah, we'd love to see that. That's the question. Is the pre-ban gonna be towards those monsters, or will Hard Brick think, I don't want him to get the Water Ryu, I know how strong it is, and maybe we'll see a showing of a different team. Is Giraffe gonna show up tonight? Do you guys want to see the Light Dragon? I would love to see it.
I would love to see something resembling a Giraffe cleave. Doesn't have to be a full cleave, just something with Giraffe would be really cool to mix it up. Though I am really glad that we got to see the full combo of the Water Ryu, the Changpang, the Okeanos in those games before.
Oh my God, that was Season 16 in a nutshell. You saw how overpowered those units are together. Once you split some of them, we also saw how to counter them. So you guys at home might be learning a thing or two.
Right, but that's why I love Legend Tournaments so much, because not only are they the pinnacle, it's the climax of the whole thing, it's also a reduction of the season before. Guys, we have a special treat for you before we go into the next one. We're going to be going to a 3-minute break, and then when we return, we got a treat in the finals. All right, everybody, stay
Je vous
safe.
transmets un avis d'urgence. Il y a une structure étrange.
速報です。都心に突然現れる。
现在为你播送快讯，前所未有的惊喜。
Breaking news. Citizens are very anxious about an Einmeldung. Die Bürger sind sehr besorgt über das
Je vous transmets un avis d'urgence. Il y a une structure étrange.
速報です。都心に突然現れました。
现在为你播送快讯，前所未有的讯息。
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause I'm with you all the way. Get into this world where think 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Hey, I've been looking for that. Yes, I've been searching for. Yes, sing with me now. Say, oh, 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 oh. Trust in me when I tell you. Hey, I've been looking for. Yeah, yes, I've been searching. Yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the RTA Season 16 Legend Tournament. I'm still Evan.
And I'm Seppi.
And we just saw the end of the semifinals between Hard Brick and Second Baby right now, with Hard Brick saying, you know those legend titles? Yes, I'd like another one of those, please.
And now he's going to have to meet in the finals the #1 player 2 seasons in a row, the representative of EU.
It's going to give him a hard match. This is not necessarily in the bag for either of these two players. Remember, Brick has a huge box to pull from, but Roid has been adapting for seasons on end too. He knows how to play against these players. This isn't the first time he's played against them. And remember, Roid streams too, so if you want to see more of these tips from him, if you want to see him play RTA, this is the chance to do it. You can give him a follow on Twitch.
Yeah, we're going to see a very interesting matchup. Maybe the best drafter of the tournament right here on the side of Roid against the person that is also a great drafter but has the strongest box with a lot of LD units. So we're going to see how these two clash, and on top of that, how the monsters in the meta are split between the two of them.
Yeah, that's right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights from match 2 that we just saw in the semifinals.
Yeah, he tried to get that reset. Even though he missed, the strip was almost as good as it because the reset comes in from Chungpeng. He has lots of damage and control with the Rain of Stones. Look at that Ciara melting. And even though he got that damage from Rika, she wasn't on despair apparently, couldn't control the team, and it was a little bit too little too late.
What an interesting game that one was, with Brick choosing to just let Rika through, saying, I'm not afraid of those 3 dots, I'm going to have control of the whole thing here. Now here's game number 2 that we just saw. This was the game where Juno got a very clutch revenge in the beginning and locked down the Okeanos.
Yeah, the revenge was gigantic because she gains attack bar from skill 1 and then she stunned the Oki. So it was huge because with the damage right here, the Juno had no death break on and there was no way of getting rid of her. Even though he killed the other monsters, once Juno is versus 2 wind monsters and an Neftis, it's going to be really hard to get rid of her.
That ended up being the last time you would see Juno's health dip below about 90% for the rest of the game. That's why she's a hard counter to the meta in this sense. If that Okeanos had gotten Rain of Stones off though, I think you're right, we probably would have seen a different
match. An important thing too, we see this Juno hitting for 1.5k per hit. Oh my god, I can't imagine the artifacts on that. I've seen Ciara's hitting for 2k a hit.
Imagine on defense break, that was just raw 1 point something K damage with each hit. It's pretty incredible, especially considering that she's just there as a counter option. She's just there to stay alive and give your team some health.
Yeah, and also interrupting whatever the opponent is doing, because he didn't have any type of cleanse, sustain. So once the Juno interrupts you and stuns, every little bit of life you lose, you're never getting that back. That's why I love the play style of many other players that bring Fran into these comps or Vigor to have a little bit of heal and sustain.
It's a really good point. Guys, we've been talking about Summoner's War this whole time, and the next branch of the Summoner's War universe is coming out soon in Summoner's War La Centuria. 5 million people globally have already pre-registered, but if you have not yet, it is not too late. They have pre-registration awards for Summoner's War proper in 429 crystals and 10 mystical scrolls as well, 429, echoing the April 29th launch date.
Yeah, the coupon's still available until today, so please register and check it out because this game is gonna be incredible. I don't know if you guys have checked the gameplay. There's already on YouTube. Many influencers tested it out during the beta. If you guys had the opportunity to do it, you already know what the game's all about, how cool the monsters look in it. Oof, what's your favorite, Evan?
My favorite transition from Summoner's War to La Centuria proper, I love what they did to the dragons.
They look handsome.
The dragons do look super handsome.
Yeah. My favorite's Vertihil. I just feel that he just got this like very grown-up vampiric vibe about him, you know, very different from what we're used to. Now I love the cutesy little Halloween version in Summoner's War, and then there's the grown-up Verd. Verd ready to work.
Oh, I take mine back. I think it's not the dragon, it is the Dragon Knight. It's Ragdoll. Ragdoll looks so dope. And don't be fooled, even though it bears the Summoner's War name, it's a very different experience from Summoner's War proper. This one is less turn-based and more action-oriented, where you can use instant responses to your opponent's gameplay.
Yeah, it's a timing-based RPG, so people have the opportunity to respond in real time to whatever people are doing instead of waiting for a turn to pass. Also, many other different things that you will love to test out in April 29th.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to, including another game that I can look forward to hearing people say in response, and then they that's going to be great. Summoner's War La Centuria is coming to you April 29th. This year, here's a look at the bracket that we've had in Season 16's Legend Tournament. We saw Roid take it 2-1 from True Whale in the opening semifinals, and then Hard Brick with the first 2-0 of the night.
And finally, Roid versus Hard Brick in the grand final. Who is going to come out on top? We're going to see a battle for speed, or is Hard Brick going to adapt with his big box and try to play different against Roid, expecting already that composition that he can bring in with lots of control and maybe stealing even the Tian Lang from there, because we know that there might be a lot of LDs on the table. Gianna, Ragdoll, Nefties, oh my god.
That's right, and Hard Brick might have to change it up like you said, because even though he's got an expansive box, Roid has had the added benefit of being able to watch the games after this. I mean, the same is true for Brick, but Roid, already having a good mind for adaptation, already knows what he might be up against.
Yeah, very interesting thing. The thing is that we're going to see is it's 5 games. We've seen players change styles, bring in unique comps. I still remember vividly when Tomato brought in a cleave with Asima on game 3 and surprised everyone, taking it in 30 seconds. So maybe we'll see something similar right here instead of just switching picks and bans.
Never underestimate the power of a well-timed cleave in a Legend tournament. People just don't see it coming.
I hope Roid's listening to us right now. That's a hint for picking correct.
Here we go, guys. We're going into the finals of the RTA Season 16 Legend Tournament. We got Roid versus Hard Brick.
The first pick on this one's gonna go to Roid, which means he has the advantage going on game 3 and game 5. So he'll probably try to pre-ban either their Ragdoll to get rid of it, or if he's afraid of that big combo with speed leads. But nope, that's what he does, Ragdoll. The ban on the other side more, or Water Ryu.
Well said, yeah, and we've seen the power of both these monsters in the game. Ragdoll with the super clutch proc earlier in the game to get rid of a Fran in a prior game, and the Water Ryu, we've seen him go off already, one of the strongest starters of the season. Okeanos, again, loving that first slot in the pick ban phase.
Oh, and now he tries to steal the Fran away from Roid. Will he do it? We talked about how he likes to put in some sustain into his control comps so he doesn't get hardly countered by bruisers. So that's very interesting. He brings the Gani and the Fran, 2 strong counters to the Oki, which leaves open double stripper opportunity for the side of Roid. And he brings the Juno. He says, I'm not going to let you have the counter to my Oki. Another one? No, sir.
Roid taking every opportunity he can get here, really showing you the power. Oh my goodness, Masha from Hard Brick coming out here. There's not a single LD, well, aside from Fran. Shows you the power of Fran, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love seeing the Masha, very strong into no immunity, double fire wind unit, and finally the Ciara. Even though probably only 2 units here so far are on Will. Maybe we'll see a response with the can. Strip
First hit of the night.
Yes, I talked about it earlier. I'm so glad that Roid's bringing him in.
Yeah, and again, Tetra's back.
switchy.
Maybe Pinkroyd is reconsidering the Ken. Hard brick, I love the Masha. It's a great option if you want to get rid of a Juno, but not necessarily ban a Juno.
Yeah. The cool thing about him taking the Verd is he denies the Verd-Masha combo. If you guys know how Masha works, she gets extra attack bar for any boost, so she's amazing with Vertihill, Ragdoll, and other units that boost attack bar. And finally, the last pick right here, I would love a Barbara, to be completely honest. There's 3 fire units on the table. Picking a Barbara here, hopefully Swift can start. Oh, there's only one monster that can kill Leona, and he has to ban it.
What a strong last pick. Basically guaranteeing that you get the team that you want. Brick with an excellent pick ban phase. Same from Pinkroyd. Let's go ahead and see how this match plays out. This is round 1 of the finals, guys.
This is going to be about the speed, Evan, right now. Is the Gianna faster or is the Oki faster? Let's see who takes turn 1. It is the Gianna, but no, it's on Will.
She can't get any stuns.
She can't do anything.
All she can do is lay a bomb down and just wait for it to blow up eventually, but that's
Oh
it.
my god, that must be surprising for him because now the Okeanos gets the reset. Oh, no,
wait,
misses
he
it.
doesn't.
He can reset the Juno, so his immunity with Fran stays up, and that's what he does. Great play on his side. This is all going to be about Masha. Masha needs to pop a unit right now.
Defense break into big damage. That's what's needed from Brick, and that's what he gets. Okeanos with a foot in the grave already.
The Masha hitting super hard, gaining lots of attack bar, and now he can ventilate on top of that and hit again to try to kill another unit. Yes, he ventilates the Masha. Very well played. Doesn't get the strip on the attack buff, and now second bomb on Vertihill. He knows that he can pop a second unit right now, maybe reduce a little bit of the attack bar so there's no interruption, and then go for the kill.
He's putting investments on Verd right now. Brick is in a very dominating position of the game here. Juno just doing a little attack bar cycling and stuns the Gianna at least.
That's an important moment right now. He needs to go for the kill. Doesn't reduce the attack bar of the Juno, Evan. That's very important because now he gets sustained. The Masha doesn't have the death break for a couple turns, and he's going to get a lot of turn cycling with Vertihill.
And this is where we get a little bit concerned on how he's going to get rid of the Juno if he can't do it right now with the Masha. Wants to heal it up a little bit. Once it gets off the chair, then we're going to see how much damage he can pump into the Juno, but with no defense break, it's going to be a hard mountain to climb.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. If he gets one kill on this, dropping her, this might be it. He drops the Masha. She needs to hit the Juno and then proc. No! He gets the clutch stun. This might be it,
That
Evan.
could have been the game right
Yes.
there. And look, the bombs just without a Ciara there, with no detonation and a Tetra on the table, they're just not going to go off.
We talked about how clutch the Juno is countering this meta. The Genny doesn't proc to reduce attack bars. This might be game. This is locked in. Great draft from Pinkroyd. The Juno only had one monster he needed to kill to solo, and the lack of attack bar reduction on her by the Masha might have sealed this game.
Excellent draft from Pinkroyd, and Brick has been on the opposite side of this. Seen the work that Juno can pump out and knows the fear of it too.
Great pick on the Juno, countering what was going on the other side and also not letting him have it to counter his Okeanos. And the switch, we talked about how we would see a lot of Tetra because of the Gianna. And he was not afraid of picking her, showing the power of the Water Mermaid. Right now, very difficult to deal with all these monsters. With Tetra standing, he's going to have to proc a lot.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot for Brick to get anything done here. Thinking about the next round as well, trying to funnel in some damage on the Tetra as well, but remember, she heals on her passive. Not as much as Molly, but she does heal.
Yeah. The question right now is, can he withstand the damage and kill this Tetra in time with the Verd cycling turns? I think it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult. He wants to get rid of that Gianna before Tetra leaves, because if Tetra leaves, he's going to lose his Verd too.
Gets another gigantic stun. One on Masha, one on Gianna. The Fran, no, she's dead. The Fran doesn't take the turn.
Doesn't even strip. Pinkroyd knows that it's over there. 1-0, a firm start to those grand finals of the RTA Season 16 Legend Tournament. That was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I do love the picks on both sides and the plan, the thought process on Brick's side, but the Juno resisted the attack bar reduction, and then he had two stuns that just completely changed the game. Juno, once again, winning our match.
Right, and Pinkroyd planning so well, even just in the pick ban phase, knowing that his monsters weren't on will. There was a beautiful moment at the start there where Gianna started the whole thing, and you could feel the confusion on that first play. It's like, wait a second, I can't stun anybody.
For a Gianna user, that must be very frustrating because you're used to getting that first turn free.
It's rare. It was really well planned from Pinkroyd there because it kind of set the tone for that match in its entirety, made it really difficult, and just nothing could take care of the Juno once the Masha died. Great threat assessment too. Let's go ahead and see what changes in round number 2.
But now, the first pick is on the side of Brick, and the Ragdoll is going to go through. The only match that Pinkroyd lost tonight was against a Ragdoll.
Right.
Is this going to change? We know he likes to use a lot of units that just have AoE abilities, so Ragdoll is very difficult to play against.
That's right, and also, again, Tian Lang is a very good counter. Oh, there it is. Already thinking 2 steps ahead. Brick banning the Tian Lang and banning the Gianna. So that says Pinkroyd's planning on taking some will this turn.
Yeah. Let's see if the first pick is going to be what we think it is. Is it going to be the Okeanos or is it going to be the Water Ryu? Is the Water Ryu or more?
I love seeing people's priorities on that first pick phase. Pinkroyd locking down Oki, a little hesitant on the Ciara there for that one too, but I think it's ultimately a good choice. Again, Ciara getting through the passive of Water Ryu when it counts towards the late game, it does help a lot.
And a speed lead to help this Oki take turn 1 and reset an important unit. The question right now is, he does bring the Fran. I would love to see a Lulu here tonight. Can you believe that? But Fran is a more neutral pick. He picks LD's, Ragdoll Fran, and here we see Mo Long Diana. The snipe, baby. Yes. Let's go. Diana might be saying something about his draft. I'm banning that Ragdoll probably, but let's see about the last 2 picks. If we see some fire right here, or if there's going to be just the Wind Monkey. Could be also a very interesting pick into this comp.
Diana is definitely more of a signal pick here. Brick locking down a Savannah. I agree with you that the Lulu would be really cool, especially because she has such short cooldowns. Chungpung and Ver just fall into line for those last 2 picks.
Very interesting. The question right now is, he starts, if he bans the Vertihil to attempt to not have to deal with counterattacks, which is what he's going to ban, the Okeanos is probably going to outspeed. Is this Okeanos faster than this Ryu? That's where we're going to find out. He was off will, so hopefully he's very, very fast.
Let's go ahead and see. Again, Pinkroyd with 1 point on the table. Brick looking to get on the board. Let's see who starts this game. And it's the Water Ryu, or more, as it were.
Can Moore get the attack bar reduction? And he does, but the Fran cuts in. He protects his team with a shield because he knows that there's damage and attack bar reduction coming in. He reduces the attack bar, resets the monsters, and it's going to protect his team with Fran. Huge block to get an attack bar reduction and also an attack.
And the attack rate going out on potentially one of the more damaging units. That Diana is looking to eat more for breakfast.
But the thing is, once you transform with Diana, you know that the Ragdoll is going to give attack bars, and now he tries to punish and hits her butt without a proc. She doesn't have skills yet. The Okeanos can try the reset, but misses. The Glancing and Death Break can come in, and they do. No. That Death Break is huge. If he manages to reduce attack bar on Diana, the Ragdoll can try to go for the kill. He protects, goes for the defensive play, but Ciara can proc into a bomb.
Oh, she does! Excellent call. Ciara looking to capitalize on this as soon as humanly possible, and noticing that she can't get rid of the bomb or trying to bait out a cleanse. She just throws it on Fran because she sees that opening.
Yeah, now if Fran procs, she's going to take a bomb to the face. Doesn't have the cleanse. He keeps going for her. The Diana can even transform if he wants, but he has glancing. It's too risky. So he goes for the stun and guarantees that that bomb's going to go off.
That's such incredible stun. Whoa, Oki's gone.
Was there a monster there?
I didn't see it. I don't know if there was a monster there.
Ciara can still carry Evan. Do you believe in her? Because one proc and she can change the game. She gets attack bar. She has a little bit less than Ragdoll, a little bit more than the Fran.
Look at Brick thinking this through, trying to decide what he wants to do. Opts for just an attack break on the Diana to try to keep that damage down. Now, Pinkroyd is super disincentivized to transform and try to lay in some damage.
But now it's only one turn glancing, so the Diana can actually do it, and he has a second bomb. Bombs the Ragdoll. He can blow it up to get rid of the sustain and control the Dragon Knight. And he does so. The opening is here. If the Diana survives this attack, she's good.
She took a hit.
She can kill the Ragdoll right now and change the match. Mo Long has the Reckless to finish later on and take this match. Ciara once again showing she's one of the most powerful units in Summoner's War.
This is tremendous. Pinkroyd trying to take every advantage he can. Ragdoll's gone. Fran is gone. He's taken every opportunity and used it so well.
The thing was, he had so much work to get rid of this Diana, and now she's dead. But Ciara is resettable, but she's always one proc away of getting everything she had back.
That's right. More! Oh, that was an important crit.
Wait. That's a huge hit. Can Molong solo this? I don't know.
Molong is going to, and it looks like the Molong is on Vamp, so we're not going to see a proc. He's going to have to take an entire turn of damage here.
Oh my god!
Wait a second. Brick is doing a lot here.
This is a huge turnaround. The crit from Ryu on Ciara is changing the match, and he's gonna take it to 1-1. Water Ryu, the clutch unit in this match number 2.
Brick with an excellent turnaround. That was incredible. Man, that crit from Moore was so important. Ciara had a legitimate opportunity to take that game by herself. You saw her take out the Ragdoll and the Fran all on her own. That was very important that he got rid of her early.
She needed one more turn, but he capitalized on the death break with a water unit. I just saw her health melt.
It was gone. So many moments where a player was looking to just take a step forward and then taking a step back defensively, and like that Diana was kept down for so long, even until her final breath, she was taking hits for the team.
Great drafts on both sides. What we see right here is why people ruin the Water Ryu with a lot of attack and additional speed damage, because he is a monster that has a passive that protects himself. So he can bank on it to take a hit and then come back and kill units late in the game.
It's such a clutch passive and allows for such an interesting way to build him and focus on damage. And that attack break, and for a long time Diana had that glancing on her too, so she wasn't incentivized to transform. Let's see how these players adapt in round 3 of the finals. 1 point on the table for both. These have been learning opportunities. They know each other now, and now we're gonna see a different pre-ban as well.
Yeah. And once again, we see how impactful is the Ragdoll. 2 matches that Pink Roid has lost today, and both of them against the Dark Dragon Knight.
That's an interesting point too. Yeah, Ragdoll.
So he's definitely getting banned right now.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be banned. Absolutely. You can try everything you want. I do respect seeing a Diana brought into a game with a Ragdoll though.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. And it was a good pick. The thing was, in the end, that crit changed the game. Let's see, what are the pre-bans? Maybe Heartbreak's trying to adapt, change a little bit from match number 1. He took away the Water Ryu from the first pick from Pink Roid, but we know he also loves Oki first pick, so maybe we'll see that, and once again, the split. If Heartbreak takes, once again, the Water Ryu and the Chung Pong, he might be doing very well.
No, surprised! Whoa! Chung Pong and Water Ryu, so we are going to see a deviation from that typical combo that we've seen players fighting for throughout the night. What I'm most surprised about, though, is that the Ragdoll wasn't there.
Yeah, the thing is that if he picks that, he's going to answer with Fran Ragdoll probably, and just, you know, bunker in. Wait for those hits and see what he does, and maybe pick a Juno later on or other monsters. Oh, he picks the Juno early. He says, I'll take the Juno route because I know you don't have a Ragdoll, so I don't need to pick him early.
Right, he's in no rush for that. Oh, there's the Tian Lang. They're playing the same game, basically, here. Brick is just saying, I know you don't have a Ragdoll, so I'll pick it later. Pink Roid says, I know you're picking the Ragdoll later, so I'm taking the Tian Lang.
And I love the Molong. Once again, we might see that Reckless to try to break it early, and he gets the Ciara-Gianna combo a little bit later. Picking this Tetra tells you that he's thinking of banning the Ciara, but he knows that there's a Ragdoll coming late, so maybe he needs to bring another tanky unit. Yes, with Sustain. The revive from Vanessa, the death break from Vanessa can help a lot, and right now it's kind of like, if he picks Ragdoll, he's going to ban the Tian Lang. And on the other side, he's probably going to ban the Ciara and have to deal with lots of Sustain and Ragdoll. Let's see if that's what happens. Or he brings a surprise later on, maybe a Barbara?
I love... Oh, the Nefties!
Interesting. Is that a Tetra ban?
It feels like a Tetra ban. And I do love that Vanessa pick from Pink Roid because it's like a contingency for the Tetra ban. Oh, yes. Read that very well. Read that very well, they did. Good job, players.
Both of them knew what was going on, so they had to ban it. But now I just feel that this Gianna Ciara is going to be really hard to deal with because there's 3 units on Will, so he needs to reset someone. Does he go for the Gianna so he doesn't get stunned?
Do you go? There's so many good options here.
Resisted!
What? Resisted?
He misses it. Gianna will be able to stun 3 monsters if there's no resist right here. She gets a strip. She hit? What?
What? Another miss. These are 2 crazy options that are happening right back to back. You don't see that happen. You don't see Gianna miss stuns like that.
He needs, you see that Juno got the strip, but
got
Gianna didn't.
Yeah.
The question right now is, can Ciara pop this Vanessa with an attack buff? He goes for it. He doesn't need to blow it up. He can cycle turns, but you give attack bar to Tianlang. So now he's deciding, do I want to give him an attack bar? Doesn't matter because I want to proc into another buff. I have two options for procs. No proc on the Gianna. No stun from the Tianlang is gigantic right here. And now Hard Brick feels a little bit more comfortable because the Ciara is one proc away from taking this match.
From ending the game. There are two bombs out. Pinkroyd has high health now, but
wait. He has the
Wait.
opening to kill a monster.
He could kill one of them.
He goes
Friend
for the
gone.
friend. Takes out the sustain. Very well chosen. The Ciara can get a proc right here and end the match with triple bomb. Is it gonna happen? Heartbreak is taking his sweet time and praying to the RNG gods.
Oh, man. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, that was a great reckless, but it put him low enough that now his monsters are even closer to death. Pinkroyd with a big risk there. I love this triple Oracle team that we're seeing from Brick right now.
So 3 Oracles on one side, 2 Pandas on the other one. Who's gonna come out on top? The Tianlang needs to be very clutch with the stuns. Gets the death break, but no stun. The Ciara procs for the bomb of the match.
That's the
Oh
one.
my god. That is bye-bye to Double Panda. It's Panda against the world. And Juno would win that anyways. What a beautiful match.
That was the bomb that we were waiting for the whole game. Man, Brick set those up so early. He had all the pieces set up, and then boop, they just knocked him down at the end.
I gotta tell you, the Nafties pick last punished Pinkroyd and made it a forced ban. That was a great pick. Pinkroyd had a beautiful draft, and now having to deal with Ciara Gianna, even though Gianna missed early, it's so many bombs, so much damage without cleanse and without protection. Really hard to deal
There
with.
was such an interesting mental dance going on in that pick ban phase where both were kind of playing as if a ragdoll was going to enter into play and then mixing it up for the Nefties at the end from Brick. That was a really cool pivot.
Very surprising.
Yeah.
Very, very surprising. And I think it got Pinkroyd surprised too because his draft was very closed off, very perfect. And then Dioki missing the reset obviously
That was
wasn't as bad, but the Gianna missed the strip on the other way back.
It was a funny exchange there, right?
Yeah.
Like they both kind of missed, so they were netting close to 0, but like still, it was such an interesting game. And again, like you could kind of see the writing on the wall with all the bombs out there. And again, the Reckless was a great way to secure the kill on Fran. However, by that point, everybody was just so low. What are you gonna do?
The thing is, Fran did her job, right? She put 2 turns of immunity and denied Okeanos from getting that Rain of Stones that controls the match, gives you advantage to go into focusing a monster, putting death break. So Fran, once again, a very important monster in the draft and also stealing it from Pinkroyd. Will Pinkroyd try to pick the Fran early on?
Let's see. Here we go. We're going into the next round of the finals right now. We got Pinkroyd versus Hard Brick.
This is match point for Hardbrick. If he wins, he takes it all. Pinkroyd is against the wall, and this might be the moment where he says, I need to go back to the plans in the beginning. I don't have first pick now, but what can I do?
And maybe one of those things is banning Ragdoll, actually.
Even though he didn't appear, like you said, it was a looming.
It was there the whole time, and I'm thinking, just get rid of that variable in your mind, right? He was he was picking around a Ragdoll. It was a fascinating pick ban phase. That was my favorite one of the night so far.
Totally agree. Let's see what they're thinking about, if they're going to change a little bit. Maybe on the side of Pinkroyd, he's going to take out the Tianlang, so he gets some of his favorite monsters out, but thinking about the Ragdoll pre-ban on the other side. And it's Gianna and Oki. Look at that.
Interesting. Yeah, the Okeanos is a very impactful pre-ban. Again, you get rid of the Rain of Stones, the damage, the CC, the reset, and everything. Gianna's good. I think I might have preferred to see a Ragdoll in that situation, but we'll see. Pinkroyd clearly has something in mind that I don't.
He'll probably get the Ganithor!
Whoa!
First time of the night, bringing it back from 2019 almost. And we're gonna see control. Pinkroyd is saying, this is match point. I'm not playing any games.
Yeah, the no games.
I want to climb.
We're using Ganithor, baby. I'm gonna lock you down for 2 turns. This is unprecedented in the Legend Tournament so far. Hathor's not made an appearance.
Yeah, is he gonna bring double stripper Ganithor or classic Ganithor? He brings the Chung Punk. The Ciara, I don't see if it fits that well yet. It's a little bit early. Vanessa, 33%. I like the triple different elements right now, but gives the opening for Pinkroyd to bring in that friend that he likes so much, and he has been winning with her. So I love, is he going to bring it? Is he going to lock it in? Or go for the double stripper?
But you're right, that 3-element diversity from Brick there makes it so it's so easy to pivot and punish, for instance, the triple wind if he wants to. Oh, and he steals the Fran.
I really like the Fran pick here because he only has one strip on his side and brings the Savannah to punish again. Oof, I don't know. I'm afraid now. That was a great last pick right there. And now the Juno to counter the control, strip the Fran, makes it a little bit difficult for Hard Brick to decide. Is he going to still ban the Hathor, the only stripper, or because he's bringing the Juno, it's AoE strip but without big control?
And there is a world here where Verd gets through and then the CC triggers a counterattack here and he boosts his team up. So there's a lot of variables in this. Taking his time,
I like the Juno.
Settles on Juno.
Yeah, I really like that. That makes it a little bit difficult because he has to choose between CC and he has to choose between counter, right? So now he has two win units that have Death Break but that can't really kill a Juno. Right. So he has to decide.
The only thing that can like capitalize on the damage is the Moor here, but like
and the Vanessa with a Death Break into a proc, right? But probably one of those is gonna get banned. Or he can just bank it all on the Genethor. I don't know if he's gonna let it pass through. I don't think he will.
Taking every second to think about this. Banning the Juno, I think, might be the right call because it's too much to ask for the right situation.
But
he can do it.
He goes into territory of, if I get countered once and the Genethor comes in, I lose this match.
Oh yeah, if Verd,
I'm afraid of that.
This is all up to Verd. The way this game goes right now, he AOE's. Verd
No
decides
counter,
no.
Evan!
Verd says no. Let's see if Verd says yes. He's got one more chance.
Even if he does it, the reduction's too strong. He's gonna get the reset. Increase cooltime on the Hathor. Resist it on the Gani. He will protect his team. There's no strip for you, sir.
Brick.
This is very dangerous.
This is bad. Brick is looking really strong right now, and Ciara's taking turns, but she needs Hathor to have her reset ready again so she can strip. She can strip the team and lay a bomb down.
And the problem is Gani has less attack power than Hathor as it looks right now, so he can't ventilate Hathor to strip.
No.
He needs to get that team going. You see the Hathor goes first proc?
Proc?
No proc.
proc.
He doesn't need to ventilate. She has it back next turn, and the Verd can cycle. If he doesn't get rid of the Hathor fast enough, Pink Roid might still be in the match.
Hey, there's some big damage going out on that Fran right now.
Can he shouldn't risk it here. Good play, didn't risk it. Now he can heal himself. Ooh, that's a bad proc.
Yeah,
that is a very bad
You
proc.
don't want to proc out of that immunity in this case right here. You want to force Pink Roid to waste a turn stripping it. Bomb goes out. That is gonna
Doesn't need to detonate.
Even attack broken?
Yeah, doesn't need to detonate.
That's probably
because the
gonna
Verta Hill goes through. Now the Genethor can come in. She goes for the sleep, takes out the damage.
This is Pink Roid laying it out there. Pink Roid is looking to take this game back.
I told you, if he doesn't kill the Hathor, this is another game, and now he only has the glancing. He has to get the glancing on Hathor to not get slept on, but I don't know if he can make it. I don't know.
And if this is good,
he doesn't risk it. The Hathor's gonna sleep
No,
him.
he's gonna sleep him.
No, he didn't put the glancing on. This is match. Genethor 2021.
Whoa.
Pink Roid says, I want this title more than anything. So I'm gonna Genethor you. I'm gonna put bombs on you. And if you don't kill my Hathor because she's tanky, this is game over, baby.
This is it. Genethor back in a big way at the end of the season here. This is a lockdown.
Impossible to deal with. Everyone's gonna be reset. And remember, we have right here a Vertihill that helps him cycle even more turns, bring more damage. The bombs from Ciara. Misses the bomb, doesn't really matter because she's gonna kill the Art Master right now. And Hathor has the late promise. Once again, this monsters came out of the meta, but if you see the opening for them, they're gonna punish you.
Pink Roid taking this match back. Brick was looking pretty well set up. Even with the thrown off turn order, Vertihile is just taking the team back up. They kill Fran. We are going to a round 5.
Best of 5 to the last match. Pink Roid did not want to lose this.
That was so cool. Genethor is back at a really weird time because it's the end of the season.
Yeah.
So we can't use them until next season. But wow, what an adjustment.
I told you, I was more afraid of the Genethor than the Juno. I think that Vanessa Deathbreak into Ryu could have dealt with that Juno. I would have been that Hathor all day, every day.
Yeah.
All day, every
and
day.
it was a lock. As soon as she got that first one down, that was it.
Because the thing is, even if you ban the Gani, Hathor with Vertihill, with a strip from Juno, if they're speed tuned, that's also a nightmare. So Hathor is very oppressive without any counters on the other side, right? If he had an Okeanos to reset it and ban the Gani, that would have been another match, right? But Oki was pre-banned. So.
Oki was pre-banned. That's a really good insight. Even just having Verd there is sort of like a second ventilate in a way, just because of the turn advantage. You're just getting your skills back so quickly. Guys, we're moving on to a round 5 right now. This is match point for both players. Whoever wins the next one here is going to go home a legend and in the Hall of Fame forever.
The last one. Who will be the champion? The one that will take season 16 legend. Pink Roid with the first pick, Evan.
Here we go. So those were the last, or rather, those were the pre-bans from last round. The Gianna and the Okeanos. And we're doing a classic one. We're returning back to before.
I like that. I like that. So he's probably going to pick the Okeanos first again. See the responses on the other side. Is it going to be stealing the friend once again or no? And then he can respond with either Chung Pong, Control, and he can't really do Gani Thor right now. So maybe he'll do friend Gani right here just to steal it from him. Kind of afraid of that oppressive combo.
I love the Oki early. However, we haven't exactly seen the most successful Okeanos tonight.
Yeah, he hasn't been super clutch yet, especially in this matchup, and that's what he does. Gani friend, like we talked about. Juno Ciara, Pink Roid very comfortably answering to this. I love his picks. Here comes, is this a replay of match 1 where his Masha missed the attack bar reduction and he says, now I want it again.
I trust you this time, Masha, he says. You got to land this one. This is the one that matters.
I would love to see a Verd. A Verd with a Masha right here. There's 1 fire unit, 2 fire units, 1 wind unit on the other side. The Jaeger comes out of the box to counter the Oki.
To counter the Oki, indeed, can't be controlled. The Jaeger is going to stand tall and he's going to deal more damage the longer the game goes. This is a
Wusa! Beautiful pick because there's no strip on the other side. Will he bring double immunity and just bunker himself to defend? This will be really interesting if he locks down this Wusa. Is it a Vio Wusa? Swift Wusa? What are we talking about?
I'm still afraid of the Justice that ignores the shields a little bit, but you know what? We'll deal with that. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. Pink Roid taking the Verd.
That's why I wanted to see the Verd on the other side. Verdahill's so strong into this comp right here because there's Fran and Gani. The Masha doesn't get the combo with the Verd, and now the last pick has to be something very oppressive, and it is the Gianna, which tells us that maybe he's gonna ban that Juno.
That's a good strip option if he got it from Brick, picking the Gianna.
But the thing is, if the Gianna's banned, how do you deal with this Wusa?
It's hard. You really can't. The only way that you can get around it is just pure damage from Jaeger, and that's a big if. There's no.
And he has to ban it. He has to ban it. Bans the Gianna, obvious ban on that side, and bans the Wusa. Doesn't want to deal with it. I feel that Pink Roid's draft is very strong right now because he forced the Wusa ban. Who would have thought? Wusa getting banned
in the Legend tournament.
In the most important match in the Legend
tournament.
Yeah,
Wusa, who has not seen a lot of play. Here we go, guys. Final round of the Grand Finals.
Gets resisted! And here comes the reset on the Juno because now Fran can put immunity up, and this might have just changed the match. The Masha can go for full damage. Big proc can just touch the Oki, reduce even more attack bar, break the attack. Ciara in an awkward spot. She procs always when this happens. She's like, oh, I can't put a bomb.
This is when proc. Exactly. This is when she likes to proc the most, right? She's gaining a 33-ish% attack bar anyway. She's getting closer to a turn. Oki just not wanting to do anything tonight. Yeah. It's really unfortunate, but he'll get another shot later. Big damage. She's gone. Ciara's out. Ciara's out. Now it is just these 3 against the world, and everybody on Brick's side is looking super healthy.
This is a big moment right now because the Rain of Stone has to be saved. If he does it, it's going to waste a lot of things, going to give a lot of stacks to the Jaeger, so he can't use it. Now he can just ventilate and go for a second kill.
Yes, if he does this right, he could set up a defense break and lock down anybody he wants with Jaeger.
I think he went defensive on here, but I think it's dangerous because the Bird will cycle
turns.
That's
a great stun.
And the Juno will have once again the strip next turn.
That stun was really important because it makes sure that the defense break doesn't come out, at least right now. Yeah. Even if you can't get her off the chair immediately.
Can he kill the Oki?
Big damage from this. 21!
Yes! 21! Oh, that is game right there. What a big hit. Jaeger finally coming out of the box. Probably right now, the person who's at home thinking about this is True Whale is like, I should have brought Jaeger.
And what a showing. Jaeger with the huge 21k on attack buff on the Oki to lock out the game. This is incredible.
The thing is, if you kill now the Masha like you did, the Jaeger's gonna hit harder because Justice with dead allies hits super hard. Gets the reset attack bar. Gani being instrumental in this win. playing it safely, defensively, attack buff on that Jaeger. It's gonna hit really, really hard. A proc that you didn't really need from him, doesn't have the strip to deal with the monster, even though he's gonna push attack bars. It's game over!
Hard Brick is our Season 16 legend. Walking away with another title tonight, and what an excellent showing from Roid though. All of these players played so well tonight.
Very good drafts, very strong, but I wanted to say something. We always talk about Savannah and Barbara being the most powerful beast riders, but the death break from Masha was clutch
And what
in
a
this
threat.
final.
What a threat. You needed to get rid of it so that you could just like have your team have the hope of sticking around, but that 21k from the attack boosted Jaeger was just tremendous for Brick.
Yeah, very, very strong monster. Great counter to the control meta. We wanted to see it, and I'm glad we got it.
We've been asking for it the whole night, and we saw it in the most impactful way possible. Brick, thank you for bringing that, and Roid, thank you so much again for an excellent showing at another Legend tournament. This was great.
What a variety of picks, you know? Roid adapted to the drafts from Brick in a really interesting way. Went to Ganithor, took an amazing win with it. I never thought I would be excited by Ganithor, to be honest. Tonight I was. Thank you, Roid.
Yeah, Ganithor's comeback at the end of the season was really cool. It was a twist that I wasn't expecting to see, too. We saw Tetras returning. We saw tons of stuff. We saw, like, a lot of force bans from both players. This was just incredible. And also, my favorite pick ban phase of the entire night in the previous round.
Yeah, very, very strong. And we saw the trio, the powerful Okeanos, Water Ryu, and Changpeng, showing why you should never let those three together.
Now, in your opinion, what do you think Roid should have been focusing on in that last game to maybe change the outcome of that?
I think it was really difficult. The pick and ban, he did it really well. It's just that the box from Heartbreak is so extensive that it's hard to predict what's going to do, right?
And you know what? That's an amazing insight.
To crack.
It is.
I think he picked and banned really well. It's just there's some players that have so many tools, and he's a very smart guy as well, because bringing that Jaeger as a surprise in the last match,
it's like,
you know,
what do you do to that?
Yeah.
And it's a great insight, too, because you remember that pick ban phase that we were referencing as our favorite. It's like, why was it amazing? It's because he had the flexibility to pick away from that ragdoll after he made his opponent think he was going to pick it.
But on the other hand, it brings us to think about the game before. When he saw Ganithor as the two first monsters being picked, why did he pick Jaeger, Juno, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Just like, okay, Ganithor me, I don't care. No, he went a different way. So, like, there's some situations where you don't think about those picks, and some of them you do.
You guys, we've had an incredible tournament tonight, and we have one more coupon code for you here just for saying thank you for hanging out with us on this late night here. It's ready for LT, that's Legend Tournament 17, because I definitely am. After Season 16's Legend Tournament, I'm really looking forward to 17.
It's going to be really interesting, and remember, we have a balance patch coming after the season. The devs already said that after every season we're going to have a balance patch, so looking forward to that. Maybe one of my monsters that is in the storage is going to get a huge buff, and I'm finally going to climb.
That would be amazing. Or it's like, and again, harkening back to the beginning of this when we were talking about Oki's prevalence right now and just how much he's benefited from artifacts. There's he is up there with the top of the class of who's benefited the most from it. So again, guys, we've been talking a lot about Summoners War in this Legend tournament, and Lost Centuria is still on the horizon for that April 29th release date. And if you pre-register along with the 5 million who have already pre-registered worldwide, you'll be able to get the 429 crystals and 10 mystical scrolls for Summoners War proper using the code that's valid through today.
Yeah, and with that you get amazing rewards for the game, and also you get the opportunity to check out this very new game with a new play style, timing based. You are able to respond right away to what your opponent's doing. You can counter whatever he's doing there. So it's something really cool, and it's PvP focused. So you don't have to come in and like farm a lot. So maybe if you're someone that likes something more casual and fighting people right away, that might be the game for you.
Right, and fast-paced battles on a limited time frame, that's something that really appeals to me too. So I'm very much looking forward to the Summoners War Lost Centuria release again on April 29th, so we won't have to wait too long because we're already at the end of March. So this is coming out very soon, so make sure you pre-register if you haven't already. It's the next chapter in the Summoners War universe. Unfolding right before our eyes. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll see a Legend tournament for Lost Centuria. Imagine that. I know I'm thinking way beyond the scope here, but imagine that. This has already been such an incredible night too. I love seeing Brick returning, successfully defending his title walking away with a second one or a third one. I think he's actually got more than under his belt. Yeah, he's got quite a few.
I think this is the fourth one.
This might be the fourth.
Because he won 2 before it was the Legend Tournament. He won 2 just by being first place, ranked number 1, and then he won 1 in the Legend Tournament. This is the second Legend Tournament one.
That's right, because even though it is the season 16 Legend Tournament, there have not been 16 Legend Tournaments. There were seasons before these even existed. Again, back in those barbaric times where we let the rankings decide, and now we just make them fight for our viewing pleasure, right?
Yeah, very, very interesting, because Pink Roid would have been the winner right here, and he showed how consistently, how strong he is. Just came up a little bit short. We'll probably see him again because he just keeps getting ranked number 1.
Exactly.
So, season 17, I'll wait for some of these players to be back.
Yeah, you know Pink Roid is going to be back. We've seen all these players before. True Whale will never stop coming to Legend Tournaments. He's an incredible player too. Everybody here is great. And also, you can never take away that number 1 slot from Pink Roid, right? Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at a replay from that final round that we just saw.
Yeah, I think that the coolest thing about this final round was the variety of picks and bans, Evan, and just the ways to counter some meta units and some other ones that are very different. So we see that Brick brings Masha against comps that have no immunity, so she has a lot of freedom to put in that death break and guarantee a kill on a monster, and she did that on both matches. The only error on this one was missing the attack bar reduction on the Juno, which gave the opening to nuke Masha down, take her off the chair, and then the game was over because there was not enough damage to deal with the Tetra, Juno, Vertihil, turn cycling, bombs don't pop.
And this is where they're starting to realize what's going on. A couple realizations I'm having watching this in post is that we didn't see Okeanos do a lot, but we also didn't see Verd counter whenever he was picked in the start to try to counter the AoEs to get his team ahead. I don't remember seeing that throughout the match, or at least not consistently.
This match was so close. This one was one of my favorite. Okeanos starting missing the control, everything he spent on the Diana, right? He just wanted to get rid of that Diana the whole match, and at some point it looked like the match was going to be turned around, but then the crit on the Ciara that we're about to see, she got that broken. The Water Ryu said, you know why everyone's pre-banning me? Because of this.
I'll show you why. I'll show you why.
At this point we're like, Pink Roid got this. This is over. But then
we're going to see.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, she was already low. It was before that.
It was before. Immediately before that, we saw Moore land a very crucial critical hit on the Ciara for that game. And this is that game, 3 Oracles versus 2 Pandas, multiple bombs on the table just waiting for the opportunity to take them out, and that was the Reckless that just sealed the deal before the whole team just passed away.
Yeah. It was very interesting because Ciara also another strong monster that thrives on no immunity on the other side. So once you get rid of the immunity, or if someone doesn't pick immunity, if she's alive, she's going to punish you. Because Ciaras nowadays have lots of crit rate, gaining a lot of attack bar, even with a Tian Lang on the other side, and one proc can change it all.
And what's great is Brick drafted for immunity, just in case. Oh, here we go. Ganithor back in the meta.
Yeah. I feel that right here, when he put the death break on and didn't proc to get Hathor low enough, the game's over. Because you know that Hathor gets a turn, delay promise with the Ganymede by her side, it's locked down. With the Vertihil, you're never going to get a turn back, and that's why you don't let those two together.
Absolutely not. Ventilate is up almost all the time because of Verd, and then Hathor by proxy has delayed promise the whole time. Brick letting it roll out to kind of think about that next round, and then we go into the 5th round. That fateful match where Jaeger finally made an appearance, and what a showing it was with the inevitable 21,000 damage with the attack buff on the Okeanos.
Okay, every Legend tournament, I talk about the unsung hero. The guy that we always forget about that is there. But in most of these wins, if you pay attention, Ganymede is on the winning side. And you're like, he never does anything. He's just resetting people and giving cooldowns back. But the reset on Juno makes so that Fran's immunity stays on the whole match.
Right.
How big is that? He can just get a proc, ventilate Fran, she had immunity once again. So no damage is coming in, there's heals all the time. Ganymede, a very strong monster. You nerfed him once, you nerfed him twice, but he keeps coming back.
He won't stay down, and that's the thing. Even if he doesn't have the opportunity to land a seal magic on that, he is a combo facilitator in the rawest form. He can make anything happen. Let's take a look at the journey that's got us here tonight in the form of the bracket. We had Pink Roid make his way to the finals early, and he was met there by Hard Brick, and ultimately we had an incredible 5-round showing, and Hard Brick took it away.
Yeah, Hard Brick with 3 wins right there to take the best of 5 against Pink Roid and be the champion once again on top. and maybe we'll see some of these guys back on the next one, and how the meta would have changed. Are we going to see some nerfs? Are we going to see some buffs? Tell us in chat, what's the monster that you want buffed the most? I know that Evan would love Lydia to get a buff, even though she's amazing already.
She's great. Yeah, she's great.
Amazing. But you would love, like, maybe, oh, she hits even harder now, 10% more.
That would make my day. That would actually make my day. Even the slightest thing, right?
Yeah.
And I would love to see these players back again in the Season 17 tournament, too. They were all so great. They brought so much to the table here. Congratulations to Brick for having another title under his belt. You absolutely deserve it, and everybody else totally deserved to be here. There were some great showings today from everybody.
Very good drafts. We could learn a lot and study these players, and I'm sure that you guys in chat are right now saying, Christina, ciao. I'm not seeing the chat.
Seeing it. Yeah,
but
we don't have chat open.
But I know you guys are saying that. Tell me if I'm right, and I'll check the VOD later.
I would, by proxy, really like Christina, because I've got Christina and Lydia, and there's something there where I want to make a combo happen. But maybe that's something for Season 17. Today, at the end of Season 16, we've had an incredible Legend tournament, and we've had Brick secure another title under his belt. This has been such an incredible evening. I really like it.
Yeah, very good picks and bans. Close matches decided by maybe one revenge, one little proc, but ultimately I feel like the pick and bans were the factor that decided this tournament.
That's right. That was the tenet for the whole thing. That was the foundation for all of the plays that you saw made here tonight. It's that mental gymnastics that people are doing against each other inside the pick ban phase. Yeah. That was where some of my favorite battles were fought tonight, actually.
Dude, lots of tricks. That game that we were all expecting the ragdoll. Even Roid was expecting the ragdoll. Picking against the ragdoll, and then last pick, it's a nafty.
Subverting expectations.
And you're like, oh my God, I would be so broken in RTA if that happened to me.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the best part of the Legend Tournament. We talked about this. It's the boiled down meta from the season preceding it, but then you gradually see it deconstructed. You see people tearing it apart after they've had the chance to play against it for the entire 3-month period of time. It was really fun to watch these players in their element doing that.
Yeah. Very, very strong showing from all of them, and I hope to see some of them back for the next one. And remember, guys, this season is one of the qualifying seasons for SWC. So these top 4 guys, for sure, if they want to join, will be in the qualifiers for each one of the regions. We got Europe right here, we got Americas, we got one from China, and another one from Korea. So 4 out of all the regions. How cool is that? Maybe some of these will be in the cups. And if you want to join, if you have a friend that is G3 and wants to rush G2, almost G3, remember the next season is also one of the ones that qualifies for SWC 2021. So let's see which new players we'll get this year, which champions will be back.
That's right. Guys, this has been such a fun night. Thank you so much for joining us for the Season 16 Legend Tournament. This has been Evan
and Steppy.
We'll see y'all next time.
See you next time.